Hi everybody. In this video, we'll try to understand Dhanishta nakshatra. So, what is Dhanishta nakshatra basically? See, every nakshatra consists of some stars. So, nakshatra is basically a constellation, group of stars. Dhanishta nakshatra consists of four stars, and the brightness of Dhanishta nakshatra is not very great, but at the same time, it is not very low also. It's okay, good kind of brightness you can observe in Dhanishta nakshatra, but of course you can find very beautiful girls, famous movie artists, famous musicians under the energy of Dhanishta nakshatra. So now it's a Mars nakshatra basically. So there are three Mars nakshatras. Every planet has three nakshatras. Similarly, Mars also has three nakshatras, Mrugashira, Chitra and Dhanishta. Mrugashira is considered as a seed of Mars energy, Chitra is the flower of Mars energy or Martian energy you say, and then Dhanishta is the pinnacle or the apex of the peak of Mars energy. So more Mars energy you can find in the nakshatra Dhanishta. What is the meaning of Dhanishta basically? Dhanishta means the wealthiest, the most beneficent. So every Dhanishta person of course may experience a bitter phase of life once, but it is said that the people generally come out of that bitter phase of life and get a super luck and try to maintain that luck. Now Dhanishta varies from 23 degree 20 minutes of Capricorn to 6 degree 40 minutes of Aquarius. Every Mars nakshatra acts as a bridge between an earthy sign and an Aries sign. If you take Mrugashira nakshatra, it acts as a bridge between Taurus and Gemini. Taurus is an earthy sign and Gemini is an Aries sign. So what is the meaning of this acting as a bridge? That means every Mars nakshatras 1-2 padas are in the earthy sign and 3-4 padas are in Aries sign. Similarly, see, if you see Mrugashira nakshatra, 1-2 padas are in the earthy sign Taurus, 3-4 padas are in Aries sign Gemini. Similarly, the nakshatra Chitra, 1-2 padas are in Virgo, which is an earthy sign, and 3-4 padas are in Libra, which is an Aries sign. Capricorn and Aquarius, Dhanishta, 1-2 padas are in Capricorn and 3-4 padas in Aquarius. Capricorn is a peak of earthy sign energy and Aquarius is a peak of Aries sign energy. So generally, earthy sign people are more practical and they are a bit selfish. They are more practical in nature. They are a bit service oriented also. Whereas the Aries sign people are very much intelligent to an extent. They are cunning also, right? They are great business magnates, social people you can find in Aries signs generally. Now, Dhanishta 1-2 are in Capricorn and 3-4 are in Aquarius. Dhanishta means the wealthiest, the famous, the beneficent, as we discussed. It is also called as Shravista because after Shravana nakshatra it starts, and in the ancient days it was called as Shravista. Shravista means the most famous, the most heard of. That's the meaning of it. And if you see the symbol of Dhanishta nakshatra, it's a dhamaru. Dhamaru is not a tabla, it's not any kind of mridanga or whatever. It's basically a dhamaru. It's with Lord Shiva. You can observe Lord Shiva has dhamaru. So whenever you see the Lord Shiva and related energy, you feel the dissolution part or the destruction part, right? So the drum conveys two main attributes, basically music and hollowness. So hollowness is required for music. If there is no hollowness, let's say take Krishna's flute, another symbolism of Dhanishta. If there is no hollowness, it cannot generate music. So obviously, so in its highest expression, if you observe, this particular receptivity, so there is a concept of receptivity, there is the energy of receptivity, then only you can find some music coming out, right? So this particular receptivity allows one to be an instrument of the universal mind. So generally, Dhanishta nakshatra is also very famous for musicians. See, music is the music that you are thinking. If you an earthly plane, that is fine, but in the universal plane, it's the celestial music. It is the music that actually maintains the rhythm of the universe. That is the exact meaning of the music. We think in terms of Dhanishta nakshatra energy, and the Astavasus are the deities of this particular Dhanishta nakshatra. So Astavasus are completely the materialistic things, materialistic deities, you can say, completely. So there is a very minute part, about 20% of this Dhanishta nakshatra energy is spirituality, 80% it's materialism. So they want, so why they become very famous, why they become very wealthy, is because they want it, they want that wealth, they want that fame, right? So as they are very, very much into materialistic activities, that's why they are getting materialistic activities. Spirituality point of view, it's a kind of, it's less orientation, you can observe. And the Astavasus, if you observe, Apa, Dhruva, Dhara, Anila, Soma, Anala, Pratyusha and Prabhasa. So these are the Astavasus here. So Apa is water, it's a Purvashada energy, you can observe here. See, in the Dhanishta nakshatra you can find so many other nakshatras energies also. So in order to avoid that kind of confusion, you can say that Dhanishta nakshatra is mainly related to materialistic things. Materialistic things. That is the whole point here, right? The Astavasus are always about, gaining something, wanting something, and trying to become famous and wealthiest. And you can see all these 8 deities, the Astavasus, carry within them the energies of different nakshatras. Like if you see the Apa, which is water, there is Purvashadha energy. The second one is Dhruva, which is the meaning is fixed, right? It's a fixed pole star. And Dhara, which translates to Dhara also, Dhara or Dhara, you say stream of water. So here the Aquarius energy you can find in Dhara. And in Anila, it's wind. Here wind means Vayu. Here you can find the Swati nakshatra energy, because Swati nakshatra is all about Vayu energy, the wind energy. And Soma is the Mrugashira energy you can find, because Mrugashira deity is Soma. And Anala is fire basically, and this is Agni. So here you can find the Kritika nakshatra energy. Pratyusha, which translates to the dawn. So here the first rays of the new rising sun, you can feel that energy here. And the Prabhasa, which translates into light. So it's another deity of morning time. This Prabhasa, Pratyusha are related to the sun. So here mainly you can find the energies that you can find on the earth. So whatever energies you can observe in Dhanishta nakshatra, you can find all of them on the earth. So earthly energies basically. Of course, Dhanishta 1, 2 padas are in the earthy sign here, in the sign of Capricorn, and 3, 4 are in Aquarius, which is an airy sign. So basically Dhanishta is all about materialism. That's what I want to say. Whether you want to know about Astavasus or not, whatever, it's always about materialism. And Shiva is the main lord of Dhanishta nakshatra energy, and you can always see the aspect of Mars coming to the picture here. The aspect in the sense, the energy of Mars, I want to say. The energy of Mars, because Dhanishta nakshatra is a Mars nakshatra. And you can always see the Saturn energy because Dhanishta nakshatra is in the signs of Saturn, which are Capricorn and Aquarius. So generally we say the Dhanishta nakshatra is also consisting of two energies. One is the Vishnu energy, another one is the Shiva energy, because Capricorn is full of Vishnu energy and Aquarius is full of Shiva's energy. So Dhanishta 1, 2 are more related to the Lord Vishnu, and Dhanishta 3, 4 mainly related to Lord Shiva. So the nature of this nakshatra, you can always find it is taking 8 qualities from the Ashtavasus. So as Ashtavasus are deities here, it just implies that these people can excel in whatever they want to do. In the materialistic activities, they are excellent, right? They can achieve great fields and everything is very good for them. There is one thing we always talk about when we discuss Dhanishta energy, that's marriage. So Dhanishta 1, 2, 3, 4 padas. In these padas, Dhanishta 1, 2, 4 are not so comfortable for marriage, and third pada is of course comfortable compared to the 1, 2, 4 padas. Why? We will try to discuss that in a moment. So before that, I want to give you one example of a Lord Sri Rama's chart. So Lord Sri Rama is a Cancer ascendant with moon in the Cancer, that's in the Punarvasu nakshatra, and the 7th cusp of Lord Sri Rama horoscope you can find in the 7th cusp directly in the sign of Capricorn, with Mars being present there. So presence of Mars in marital relationships is always a kind of not so comfortable kind of planetary position. So especially in the Lord Sri Rama's chart, in the 7th cusp you can find Mars. Of course Mars exalts in Capricorn sign, and that too especially 28 degrees of Capricorn is something like it's a peak of Martian energy. It exalts more and more there, right? That is good enough, but the marital affairs, the 7th cusp involving Mars, and that to that 7th cusp is in the nakshatra of Dhanishta. So just if you observe, if you read the epic Ramayana, you can find the problems faced by Lord Sri Rama in the marital affairs, right? So that is one of the notable points here. And the Dhanishta first pada, if you observe any planet in your Rashi Chakra or the Lagna chart, right, the general D1 chart, if you see any planet being present in Dhanishta first pada, in the Navamsha Chakra it will go to the Leo sign. So the Dhanishta 1 planet is under the control of 3 energies, whatever may be the planet. The energies are Saturn energy and the Mars energy, because the Saturn energy, because it's in the area of Capricorn, it's in the Dhanishta 1, right? The Capricorn energy is Saturn energy, and of course Dhanishta 1 is Dhanishta nakshatra belongs to Mars. So Mars and Saturn coming into the picture here. Dhanishta 1 directly falling in the Leo Navamsha. So Sun's energy is coming into the picture here. So Sun, Saturn, Mars. So Saturn, Mars, the aggression, and also the Sun, which is a bit egoistic. All these energies combining, it's making not so good for marriage. But at the same time, the involvement of Sun, Mars, and Saturn. Saturn is your work, your ability to work, your patience to work, your discipline to to go to the heights in your career or in your life. So Saturn is good here, Mars is good, Sun is good. All these things are very good, for your material aspects. For materialism, all these things are very good, excellent. But for the marriage, these energies are not so good. So Dhanishta 1 is, especially if this Dhanishta 1 is falling in your 7th house or 7th cusp, that is not so comfortable, not so good for marriage. Dhanishta 2, which is the Virgo Navamsha, so Mercury is coming to the picture. Mercury is a neutral planet. It cannot enhance or it cannot reduce. So Dhanishta second, Dhanishta 2 is actually the Dhanishta second pada. In the Navamsha chakra I can find Virgo is coming into the picture. So Mercury is a neutral planet, cannot enhance, it cannot decrease the energy of others. So here Sun, it's not the Sun, it's the Mercury, energy is coming into the picture. And Mars, Saturn, Mars is because of Dhanishta and Saturn is because of Capricorn. So Dhanishta 2, just imagine the people having Dhanishta 2, they are very good at organizational ability, they are very good at skill, having a very great skill because Mercury is coming to the picture. So as Mercury, which is the planet of intelligence, the planet of logic, the planet of academics, the planet of communication is coming to the picture. So they have a very good communication between the brain and the hands. So they can become great musicians also, because whenever we talk about Dhanishta, we talk about musicians, music, celestial music or dancing, the rhythm, the orchestration, the organization, right? That is the energy present here. So Dhanishta 2, the combination of Mars, Saturn and Mercury is an excellent nakshatra to become very good at possessing a skill and thereby gaining lot of materialistic things, lot of money, right? And especially if you see this Dhanishta 2 is comparatively compared to Dhanishta 1, of course it is compared to Dhanishta 1, it may be good for marriage, but overall this energy is also not good for marriage, because this Mercury, which is a neutral planet, is not doing anything with Mars Saturn energy. It's not decreasing the impact of Mars and Saturn here, it is just joining there. It's a neutral planet, it's a skillful planet, of course. So that is the message. Dhanishta 2 is also not so good for marriage, but good for marriage compared to Dhanishta 1 and Dhanishta 4. And now Dhanishta 3, which is an Aquarius sign, is falling, the Dhanishta 3 is falling in the Libra Navamsha. Venus is coming to the picture here. So Venus, Mars and Saturn. So this particular pada, Dhanishta 3, which is a starting of Aquarius, is very good for marriage generally, because Venus is coming into the picture. So as Venus is joining this Mars Saturn, it's actually making the relationship very much passionate and also loveful, blissful, right? So Dhanishta 3, they can possess a lot of materialistic things, lot of vehicles. So Dhanishta 3, it doesn't mean your moon is in Dhanishta 3, it can be any planet. The planet must be a benefic planet. Compared to your lagna, with respect to your lagna, if the planet is very good and that particular planet is falling in Dhanishta 3, that's it, you are very good. Especially in the 7th cusp, Dhanishta 3 is fine, right? Dhanishta 4, if you observe. Dhanishta 4 is showing the Scorpio Navamsha. So again Mars is coming into the picture here. So the Martian energy is becoming more and more, right? The nakshatra Lord Mars is coming to the picture, sign Lord Saturn is coming to the picture, and then as a Navamsha Lord also Mars is coming to the picture. So too much of Martian energy, which is making the marital life a hell, right? So Dhanishta 4 energy is not so good for marriage, but as it has so much of Martian energy, yes, they can go to the military things, achieve, they have great power basically. Their energy is peaks. Dhanishta itself is the peaks of Martian energy, and just imagine the Dhanishta 4, it is having the peaks and peaks of Mars energy, and with that strong power, with that strong passion, they can achieve anything but except this marriage stuff. So this is about the Dhanishta nakshatra. So if you see the mode of functioning of this particular nakshatra, so ancient Vedic seers saw this as an active nakshatra. Even infants born under a strong influence of this nakshatra are more active than other infants because this is a Mars nakshatra. It gives a lot of power, a lot of energy. So even the infants, they start to respond to music from a much earlier age compared to the other nakshatra infants. So this is a nakshatra meant for getting. So Dhanishta is an active nakshatra. So that's the message. So this nakshatra is meant for getting out in the world and doing things, the materialistic activities more and more. So this is a complete active nakshatra. It belongs to a farmer community. You may think it's a Martian nakshatra, then how come it is in the farmer community? See, it is really puzzling for everyone to understand why such a wealthy, it's a wealthy nakshatra basically. See, the Dhanishta nakshatra people, even though they may get a bad luck in the life, but they will come out of it. Ultimately, they will achieve all the materialistic things because they are always running after the materialistic things, and one day they will become wealthiest and famous also. So such a wealthy nakshatra, right, it's assigned to a working class, right? It's a kind of puzzling thing, but this relates to the fact that this nakshatra falls in Saturn sign. Saturn is always about working class, the working class.